Okie dokie. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I'm going to do my PowerPoint. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. My name is Daniel Ware. I'm the genealogy librarian here at the Kentucky Historical Society. And sorry, I'm multitasking, trying to get everything up. So that's why I'm a little sporadic on what I'm saying. I do apologize. And so today, what I'm going to be talking about are basically genealogy gift ideas for the holidays for the person in your life that's really into genealogy, or the family member that's doing research. Whoops, there we go, and things like that. And so it's going to be kind of a mixture of different things to give you ideas of either for yourself or you know, or a person in your life that you're, wanting to get a gift for. And it could be anything from, store-bought items to, knowledge that you might pass down, or, things you might create yourself and things like that. So some of the things I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about how, genealogy and the holidays, how they can actually kind of go hand in hand in a sense. And then there's, genealogy as a gift. And then some of the actual ideas will be like genealogy books, potentially maps, different forms of technology to help that person in your life with their research. Also, talk about how art could play a role in genealogy as far as a gift goes. And in decorations, I mean, they're kind of similar to art because art could technically be a decoration as well. And then obviously, there's DNA tests. A lot of people have taken those, and, I see ads and commercials for them all the time, especially around the holidays. And then, of course, I'm also going to do a little KHS, Kentucky Historical Society membership plug, because that can also be a really great gift for people as well. And then also, like I said, I do want to also mention things that you might be able to provide or create from scratch, not necessarily something that you have to buy. And so genealogy and the holidays, did you know that genealogy and the holidays go well together? Genealogy is all about learning more about your ancestor, family, and heritage. And also then when the holidays come around, you're usually spending time with said family and, performing some of your different, uh, traditions and things like that. So that's why I feel like genealogy and the holidays go well together, because, they're both about family and tradition and, ancestors and things like that, and being with family and connecting. And did you know that genealogy can be a gift? You may have someone in your life that is into genealogy or family research, and then you can easily find or create something that would be right up their alley. You may also be able to gift them with something that helps them with their search or gets them past a roadblock. That one particular gift, maybe that one key that, gets them through wherever they're stuck at. The first thing I want to talk about, like I previously mentioned, are genealogy books. They can be a great gift. These can help your relative or the family researcher in your life with their research by giving them pointers, ideas, or even just providing them with more information related to their family research. This book could be the one thing that helps your relative get past their roadblock. It could be anything from general genealogy, just that helps inform them on the basics. It could be about a particular place or time. I know sometimes books like these can help, if you're trying to figure out why your ancestor, potentially immigrated or migrated from a certain location, like if they came from Ireland, and if you learned about, the 1840s, I believe, when they had the Great Potato Famine. It may not be specifically about the family member, but if you or your relative that you're giving this gift for are researching that particular ancestor that came from there, and if that was the right time and place, that could help them fill out their family member's story and give them a better understanding of why they did what they did. And it also could just, the gift of a genealogy book could also just be a family history. I know here at the Kentucky Historical Society, we've got several family histories, and I actually use them a lot to help me with when I'm researching for patrons. And it could be the same with the family researcher in your life. It could give them more dates or names, or, provide a more stronger narrative to their family history. And then getting this from a Family Search article, it could give them a history. You could give them a history and travel book about a place where one of your ancestors was born. They will be familiar with the localities and appreciate the added insights that can embellish the ancestor stories they are researching. And kind of like I've already mentioned, and like this quote mentions it, a history book or a travel book, could even help fill in the gaps to your relatives' research. You could learn more about, or they could learn more about that particular country or location, that the ancestor came from. It can really shape your relatives' research, and it can even lead to a future trip with the help of the research. A lot of people, they'll learn about a particular location that their ancestor was from, and then that gives them the courage and the idea to, hey, let's actually go travel to that place to take in the, everything that's there, and to, actually go and look around and walk where they walked and go where they went. And that could also lead to, them also finding, like a local church that ancestor may have been baptized in, and, or, a certain other institution or location that's there in that place that they've taken the field trip to, and, help them find more records or more, information that way. And then some other specific books, like types of books that, may be of interest to a family researcher in your life would be something like, if they're wanting to learn more about DNA genealogy, or, that kind of stuff. So, if they've gotten to that point where they're interested in participating in having their DNA tested, or, or something like that, a book about DNA genealogy could, help, them understand that whole, process better. Another type of book may specifically relate to, female ancestors and maiden names and things like that. And especially since that's, one of the many, genealogy research paths that are, very difficult to follow at times, due to, your female ancestors getting married and then losing their maiden name. And so, a book like that may give your family researcher in your life, ideas, or, of what they can do to find these, missing female ancestors potentially. And then kind of along in that kind of same kind of vein, there's also books, that are just about hidden sources and, different types of records that, you might not automatically go to when you're researching. And so a book like this could help them get ideas of looking at alternate paths for their research. There's also a lot of people get interested in family trees or creating a family tree. And if this person in your life, if they're just starting and they don't know how to get a family tree started, a book about family trees might help inform them more. And there's also, books about Kentucky ancestry, like here at Kentucky Historical Society, we're always trying to help patrons find their Kentucky ancestors, whether they migrated to Kentucky or migrated from Kentucky, or they were born and, died here in Kentucky, and, a book like that, can give you different ideas of, what type of records to look for, what locations to look for, and things like that. And there's also, a lot of people use genealogy databases or software, whether that's in constructing, your research or performing the research itself. And so sometimes, a book that could inform your relative, excuse me, might, help them understand these programs and these databases and software better, and like what they can do and what they can't do, and things like that. Um, and there's also, many other ones that, I can't even discuss here at the moment that, just relate to, family history or genealogy that could, benefit the family researcher in your life and give them ideas and, inspire them or help them get past, a stuck position that they may have been in. And here's I wanted to show some examples of books that, may be good for that researcher in your life. And I'm not trying to promote very specific, books or authors or, or anything. And most of these pictures are going to be pictures I took of materials that we have here at the Kentucky Historical Society. But I'm hoping that these will just give you ideas of the types of books or types of materials or items that could be gifts. And some of these, most of these you can buy just about anywhere. I know the Discovering Your Female Ancestors specifically, like I have a copy of that book, and I've used it for a presentation in the past, and and it's something that could be found anywhere on like Ancestry or Amazon or somewhere like that. So it's most of these you can find pretty much wherever, and they could be a good gift to help inform that person in your life. Um, and like the picture here in the middle, Kentucky Ancestry. Now it's a bit old, just because it's from like the 80s or 90s, and so a lot of the way you because this book specifically will kind of tell you how you can contact certain like institutions as well, as far as like who to contact in certain counties and certain locations for information. So a lot of it is more of you like sending a letter and mailing it to them. So, but still it can give you kind of stuff like that, can give you ideas as far as how to go about the historical research and who you could contact and things like that. And the next section I'm going to talk about are maps. This might be something a little more outside the box and not as straightforward as a book, but you can find certain types of maps, and these could help the family researcher in your life with their family research, because they can help you keep track where your ancestor migrated to or from, depending on the type of map. Certain maps and atlases may include information about the occupation of the ancestor, who their neighbors were, show you where their homestead was and things like that. And so, something like that might help that person in your life, pinpoint where, their ancestor was. And then also, according to Family Search, it could be a working map for marking and placing pins, or something more decorative, such as an antique map with names and titles no longer in use. And, and those ideas, something like that could also be useful as well, because, it could help them plan out their future genealogy trip. It could, help them follow, show them where the town's locations, where their ancestor lived in another country before coming to the US. And it would allow them to see where that ancestor came from, and they may even be able to go there themselves. And it can help them plot out what they want to do or where they've been while they're researching and traveling all over the place. And or like the quote mentioned, it could be an older antique map that has locations no longer available, and that genealogist or family researcher in your life may just appreciate that for that sake. It's just seeing an older map of places that no longer exist. Yeah, because some of these gifts I'm trying to provide you information on, or, some of them could be more, useful as far as like their research. And then some of it could be more based on just their appreciation for like family history and like older historical items that, they may just put up on a wall and enjoy looking at. So those are the kind of different types of things you may look into as far as a gift goes. And then here's a couple examples once again of some couple of items that we have here at KHS. But I wanted to provide some examples of things you may be able to keep your eye open for, when you're looking around at maps to get for as a gift. Could just be an older, state of Kentucky map. That just like we were talking about before, that they may just appreciate seeing like an older, antique map, or it could be a map of, a specific location and, have a breakdown like this map of Scott County where, it gives, names and gives like landmarks and things like that, could be useful for research. Now I'm going to talk about technology. So certain pieces of technology can be a great gift for the family researcher in your life. Genealogy often requires a way to record your findings. Sometimes your family researcher may also need a way to access genealogical databases or an institution's online catalogs. Also, different types of technology can help them with some of these problems. They may also use different types of technology to help interview relatives as well. You may use like a voice recorder or, something to that effect, and, get some oral history from a family member. And according to Family Tree, gift the person a tablet and or a digital vocal recorder that they can take with them when visiting a relative to interview them. Either can provide the answers to questions written out on the tablet or spoken into the recorder and transcribed later. Another option of something that could help could be an external hard drive to help with saving their information. And that's also a key point when saving information is you don't want to have everything saved in one spot, just in case, if your laptop or your tablet, something happens to it, and then you might lose that information. So, sometimes having something on an external hard drive or on a USB core, port or USB thumb drive, potentially, that kind of stuff, having in multiple places, that helps your information survive in case something does happen, and it keeps it safer. So, a hard drive, something like that could be useful as far as the information storage. And another form of technology, honestly, if you think of it this way, would be, a simple pencil and paper. Because, a lot of the, family researchers, a great gift for them could potentially be, papers and pencils and, folders and items like this, because, if they had a notebook and a pencil, they can write down their things as they're finding them. And especially a lot of institutions, like I know here at KHS, like we don't allow like pens and things like that, but you can have like a notebook or, some paper and a pencil. And, if you found something in a book or on microfilm, you might want to just write it down, and I know a lot of, genealogists and family researchers, they may be, real old school and, just wanting a good old pencil and paper and not necessarily wanting to use anything real high tech. And, anything like a folder, something like that, because that could be a place where they store their papers and have everything collected. And, you could have multiple folders where, this folder is for this particular ancestor or this particular family, or, and get things organized in a certain way. So anything like that would be very useful to that family researcher in your life, and they would really appreciate a gift like that. Now I'm going to try to talk about art and genealogy. This can be a great gift for the family researcher in your life, because this kind of also kind of folds into the self-crafting as well, because you can make art yourself, but then, there's other art that you can, find online that others have made. And, it might include things relating to genealogy or history. This could include collages, family trees made from scratch, or I do point out stained glass windows. Now, I know something, especially like a stained glass window, that may not necessarily be, an automatic, personal gift that, you would necessarily provide to somebody in your life that would make great use of it. But I know, for example, at my old library job, in our Kentucky room that we had these people come in, and they actually put in a stained glass window that related to Spencer County. And it was like kind of a little bit of a history with some imagery and things like that. And so, obviously that probably wouldn't necessarily be like a personal gift, but something like that is art and can be historical, could be something that researcher in your life could appreciate. And genealogy art as a holiday gift, it can be an aesthetic thing that your family researcher just enjoys and appreciates, or it can be useful for their research. It may be something that has specific family members listed or included in that, and that may give them ideas of names or things to research further. Or like I've been previously mentioning, it could just be something that they like the look of, and it relates to history or genealogy, and they just have appreciation for it. Okay, and then there's decorations. A lot of this could be something like art, because it could be just different house items or things that you would put up around the house that you could make from scratch that happen to be genealogy themed. um, One example that I was thinking about earlier could actually be like a quilt or a throw for like a chair or a couch or some furniture. And it could include like a family tree or something genealogy or history or family related. And it could be something that they use to help decorate their house, their living room, or it could be something that they put up somewhere and then they to look at and appreciate. um but yeah, this could also fall into the craft yourself section, as far as if it's something, if you made the quilt yourself or the throw yourself, things like that. But you could potentially also buy it from somewhere too. Okay, I do want to talk about DNA tests, because they are very popular holiday gifts for those that are into family history. And like I said earlier, I do see like ads and commercials, especially around the holidays, where they have special deals and things like that and special sales. These could help, see where, an ancestor may have came from, where, they might also learn like the percentage of their ancestry. And this could help with, seeing where their family's migration patterns were. And, a lot of the companies like Ancestry and a lot of the companies that do these, have these DNA tests, they also usually have like special groups and, where people that are a part of the same family or part of the same, you know, collection, they can meet and, learn from each other and discuss and things like that. So that's another bonus for something like this as a gift, is this could allow your family researcher in your life to connect with others who may have some of the same DNA and things like that, and learn from them. Okay, and then now I'm going to talk about KHS membership, because that is also another gift opportunity that you could provide for the family researcher in your life. Like a great gift like this can allow the family researcher in your life to visit our library for free. They would have access to our collections, records, microfilm, resources, and the available staff that we do have here to assist them and answer their questions. Um, And this is just another great option for helping them get past any roadblocks they may encounter, because they could come here and like look around at the resources we have, or ask us staff like specific questions that we may be able to help steer them in the right direction. And this membership, they would also provide them with access to the rest of our museum. They would have they would be able to access the old state capitol, which technically you don't have to be a member to visit the old state capitol, but basically a lot of these, the admission, basically they wouldn't have to pay admission. So then, like, instead of paying like $8 to get in here and then go see the old state capitol, they would, be able to just come in and be like, I'm a member, and show their card or whatever. And then they would be able to just go and visit the old state capitol. And it's the same with the Kentucky Military History Museum that we've got up the hill from us. And this could really, help the family research in your life, especially if they're needing to locate military related information for the research. Yeah, they could go visit the Military History Museum. And if the family research in your life would need to come research at KHS a lot, then this membership gift would basically be very beneficial to them. And because it's the plain level membership is a 1-year membership, and it's $40. And then the admission is $8 per visit. So if your family researcher was planning on visiting 5 times or more a year, then the $40 membership would be paying for those multiple visits, and it'd be paying for itself. And also, this membership would give them a 10% discount in the KHS gift shop, and certain other programs that we may have, it would either be free or they would get some kind of 10% discount at the very least. And also, a way to get this gift could be through in the gift shop. There's a special Kentucky gift card that they're selling. That could either pay for membership here, and then there's other parks around Kentucky that it would be good for as well. And so between here and these other parks, this gift card could be great for, the genealogy and history people in your life, because they'd be able to come here, do their research. They wouldn't be paying every time they came in the door or every visit, or they may also use it to go to a specific park that's in the state that, could help them as well. And the actual gift shop name is the Stewart Home School 1792 store. I just wanted to kind of show some images just in case people haven't been here before. And there's different kinds of items too in there. There's, different, there's shirts and, knickknacks and things like that. We also do have some books. I do know that we have downgraded on the books than compared to the past, but we do still have a section for some books. And, paying for the KHS membership could, they could come in, and then, they may find books here that would also, help them with their, family research as well. And then here's a picture of what the gift card looks like. And yeah, it'll pay for, like, you could either do like the Kentucky Historical Society or the Kentucky Horse Park or the Kentucky Artisan Center or just Kentucky State Parks. And then this is one of our membership brochures, just to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like. And it also includes some of the benefits as well. Like there's online access to the register of the Kentucky Historical Society through a database called Project Muse. And basically you would, I believe you would contact, or you would get contacted by the editor of the register, and because you would get like a special little like password that you would put in when you would go to our website to access those. There's also exclusive invitations to members only events and exhibition openings and programs and things like that. And there's also the professional research. I kind of touched a little bit on this, but you would also get discounted fees for the actual like research requests that, people do mail in to us, if they're not able to physically come in here in person. because like a full-on research request for non-KHS members is $53, but then you get a 10% discount if you're a KHS member, so it'd be like $47.70, I believe is how we've got it broken down. But you'll get a little bit of a discount for something like that. There's also special discounts, complimentary admissions for members to the Kentucky History Center and museums, discounted admission to select KHS sponsored events. And you do, like I mentioned before, you do get discounts in the gift shop as well. And then there's a time travelers network, a free reciprocal membership network for historical museums, sites, and societies, including over 400 organizations in more than 45 states. And basically, if you fill out one of these, there's like a fill out form on the very right end of the image here. And then there's the different membership levels. So if you just wanted to do the 1 year, it would be $40, but then you'd have to renew it every year. But that could go a long way towards, the family research in your life, especially if they were going to need to do a lot of research here. The membership would pay for itself in the long run and things like that. Okay, now I'm going to try to talk about just kind of more things that you can either craft yourself or things that you wouldn't necessarily have to pay for, that weren't necessarily store-bought items. Because you can create a great genealogy gift yourself. This includes art, like I previously mentioned. Get tongue-tied. Crafted gifts can include many types of things. You could put together a scrapbook of any pictures, letters, etc., of ancestors and other family members. You could also put together a photo collection of ancestors and family to give to the family researcher in your life. A collage, or like I said, a scrapbook, something that'll provide either something they just would be nice for them to look at, or it may provide information for them, things like that. Family tree, you could also, gift them with a family tree, and this could include anything from pre-made family trees or pedigree charts that are blank that the family researcher in your life can fill out themselves. They may always want something so they can start charting out family members. And it could also be a family tree that already has ancestors and family on it that your family researcher may just want to put up somewhere or keep somewhere, and they can just look at it and appreciate it, or take that information that's there, if there's a certain name that stands out to them that they didn't think to research before. And also another item might be an actual family heirloom, and it's not technically a created gift, but it's also not necessarily a store-bought item. And a family heirloom could have a lot of familial importance. It could be just a particular item that could be a family Bible. It could be something, a cooking utensil that one of your family members used a lot, and could tell a story or bring back memories. And also family heirloom could potentially provide answers to mysteries that your family researcher may be facing. It may be a particular family book or a recipe book or a family Bible, and there may be an answer to something that your family researcher in your life may have come across that helps answer. And then here's a couple examples of some family tree, like pedigree charts that are already just pre-made and that you can fill out, just to kind of show you like what something like that might look like. And usually they'll be like you at the one end, and then you'll have your father and mother, and then your grandparents, and so on and so forth. And then I wanted also, I found this family tree. I think it was the Seelbach family, I believe is what it is, but it's in our archives. And so I wanted to show a picture of that just to show you an example of like how, potentially you could just completely craft a family tree from scratch. And, it may not be the prettiest thing, or, it may not really, but the fact that you took the time and effort and constructed it, and and if you went ahead and put names in or started putting names in, and then the person you gifted this to continues that, then it's also creates a connection or a bond between the two of you and your ancestors as well. And I feel like, even if it's not the prettiest thing, if it's something handcrafted that you put your time and effort and energy into, there's that experience that you're getting and that appreciation, of doing something yourself. And especially if that person knows that you did that, then they would really appreciate that as well. And then I kind of briefly mentioned this at the very beginning, but another, you know, com- you could consider this a self-crafted gift. Could be just knowledge, information. This could be in the form of passing along the genealogy information you have or that you know. This could also include sharing a family hobby or a tradition that has been passed down, that could help enrich, their life and, their understanding of the family. Either of these could be very important gifts because it may either be information that could help them out, or it could be something that's part of the family heritage. And like I literally already said, it just would help enrich their life and their research. And then I came across this next item that I'm going to talk about. A coworker of mine pointed me out to this, and then I found this in our digital collection. And I'm not actually that familiar with it, but I thought this could work as well, and it would be really interesting, especially if you did make this from scratch in some form of way. But it is a franctor, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, but but you could create one of these from scratch potentially. Uh, Fractors are illuminated pictorial writings that were used for baptismal and wedding certificates in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. North American fractors have their roots in the medieval German manuscript illuminations, and that's this one particular is relating to the Miller family, and it's theirs. And I do have, I'll have some pictures to show you in just a moment. And this could, at least something like this, even if you don't straight up make something exactly like this, it could inspire you to create beautiful art from scratch that is infused with genealogy and family records. And something like this would be a beautiful gift that you made with your own hands that the family researcher in your life would appreciate. And here's a picture of it. And on the left-hand side, there's Alexander Miller, and it talks about he was the son of John Miller and Ruth, his wife, and it gives like his birth date. And so like you wouldn't have to necessarily go all out like they did, but you could create, like, especially if you have specific information about family members, you could, put, that information into very beautiful art like this, names of ancestors, their birth dates, their death dates, marriage information, something like that. And it could be something that could be in a book or something that they could put on a wall to look at and, see the beauty of that. And so, I just wanted to provide that just because it's really stunningly beautiful with all the flowers and floral imagery and everything. Okay, and that's about it. So I'll go ahead and give you my contact information in case you don't have it. Like I said, my name is Daniel Ware. I'm the genealogy librarian. My email is daniel.ware@ky.gov. And my office phone number is 502-782-8098. And if you have any questions after today, you can always call or contact me in either of these forms. And that's going to be about it. And then that's just some referencing that I did for my quotes and things like that. And so I'm going to stop sharing. And let's see what we got here first. Yeah, see, things like that too. Yeah, it's just, finding this, information, and, and fixing it up, and and then decorating it and putting it in a nice frame. Yeah, that's always a great gift option. Especially if people that are really into their family history and learning more about it. Let's see, where can I go to get family trees to print off for my family? A lot of family trees you can actually just find online, I believe. Now I did do a family tree presentation a few months ago, and then I had a coworker that's part of our learning team, education team. She also helped me with that presentation, and I think she did send me a couple of links to like where you could get free ones, I believe. I can try to find those and email that to you later if that would work. Other than that, I mean, I know like the pictures of the pre-made ones that I showed that were just that weren't handmade, like those are ones that we do have here that we sell for like $1. But I believe there are places that you can go online to do it for free. And I'll try to find those links. I should still have them because and I can send you that, and that should work. I guess you can either type in a question in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself and you can just ask me a question because I'm opening the floor. So
Daniel,
hey.
this is Jackie.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Okay. The book that you mentioned, one of the resources, Kentucky Ancestry Guide. Could you give me that full title? I would like to look into perhaps getting that.
Sure. Did you want me to tell you now, or did you want me just to email you that?
You could tell me now. Okay. You don't have to.
I think there's actually, funny enough, because we've got like a bunch of random copies of it here. It is called Kentucky Ancestry, a guide to genealogical and historical research.
And historical.
The author is Rose Ann Reinmuth, REINEMUTH.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, and one other book. What is the one about finding your female?
Oh, yeah. Let me see real quick. It is a genealogist's guide to discovering your female ancestors. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture so I can see the author's name. Let's see. The author's name is Sharon DiBartolo Carmack.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Let's see. Okay.
I have one other thing to say.
Sure. Yeah.
I just thought about all the things that you listed. You know, that Baylis Hardin book, that's a gem for that may be something that someone may want to get. Yeah, because you just don't know what you may find in there. I mean, I know it would be costly to
that's true
for people, but if they came in, they could kind of decide
Yeah.
what parts or do it in parts.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because there are like collections that people have written, and it might be like notes relating to people or places or experiences.
Yeah,
And something like
yeah.
that, in a sense, could be a great gift because
Oh,
it might provide insight for a particular, moment, or, or,
absolutely,
you know, you
absolutely.
might find
I
a
mean,
name or a certain thing that helps fill that certain gap. And
yeah, yeah.
which also, um, even like getting like membership here could like potentially help with something like that, because either you're gifting somebody like either copies or photocopies of that documentation, or they have the membership gift and then they're able to come in here and then they can look through materials like that themselves. So either way, something like that could potentially be a great gift for a researcher in your life. That is true.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know for me, since I can't come in, well, I
Yep.
know about
Yep.
it, but yeah,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's fantastic.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess nobody else has any questions. I guess we will finish up, and then I will get Jim. I will get
Can I just
you.
ask something?
Oh, yeah.
Could you provide the PowerPoint
Yep.
by email?
Yep. I can do that.
That would be great, just so I can have all the reference points.
Yes. Yeah. I thought, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I try to like give like my contact information in case, I mean, obviously, people can ask me like now, but sometimes it may be like, a week later and somebody will remember, oh, hey, you know,
Right.
or
That's
something,
me.
no, you're fine. No, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I can do
Okay.
that. And so I don't know who
Thank you.
wants the presentation, but um, I I guess you all can let me know. And but yeah, and then like Jim, I'll get you try to find the links that I had as far as the family tree stuff. Um and then Judy, I'll get you the presentation.
Okay. Yeah, I'll email you and that way you'll have my email handy and know who you need to send it to. So
Right, right.
thank you so much.
Oh, you're
It
very,
was a
very
great
welcome.
presentation.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do appreciate you all being here as well. Thank you very much. And this will be the last one for this year, but we're going to try to get started back up again in January. I just have to kind of get things scheduled and planned and what the actual presentations are going to be. I think next year I'm going to do presentations myself, but then I'm going to also try to get like outside speakers to come in and talk about specific things as well. So kind of change it up a little bit, but yes, thank you all for being here, and I guess we will close out. You all have a great day.
Okay. Everyone have a great rest of your year.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.